A section in Canada is angry, very angry, because of this. 55-foot tall statue of Lord Hanuman is under construction in Brampton in Canada. The same Brampton, yes, where we have seen activities of anti-Hindu and anti-India nature, specifically the Khalistani rallies. Now, the Hindu Sabha Mandir in Brampton, which is getting the statue constructed, intends to unveil it officially in April 2024, which coincides with Hanuman Jayanti. But it's already led to massive uproar on social media in Canada. So why are some netizens angry? Let's look at some of the comments we saw on, for example, the social media site X, formerly Twitter. Senior researcher Cosmin de Souza has said, ignoring an obvious projection of power in the form of a massive deific monument will be to our detriment. He's basically suggesting that Hindus are soon to take over in Canada and will remove the local population. One Candace Malcolm, who has her own show, it seems, in Canada, says Canada erases its own history, imports foreign history and foreign culture to replace our own. It's a slap in the face, and Canadians have had enough. Yo, white Canadians, take a chill pill. The only community that has never really caused you any law and order concerns, never used your country's soil or misused your country's soil for illegal activities against another nation are the Indian diaspora settled in Canada, or to be specific, Hindu Canadians. But because of all these outrageous, discriminatory, derogatory comments, security has now been provided to the temple premises area where this statue presently stands. I'm even surprised that white Canadians think that Hindus and their cultural symbols are a problem. Look around you and let me give you some numbers. 1.7 million people approximately are of Indian origin in Canada, accounting for about 3% of the total Canadian population. There are also about 7 lakh NRIs, according to the Ministry of External Affairs. Canadian House of Commons has 19 members of Parliament of Indian origin, including ministers. And they have largely been a contribution, a positive contribution to your workforce and to your economy. When have they ever given you a reason for concern as a community? This post was shared on social media by Canada-based journalist Rupa Subramanya to highlight the barrage of racism thrown at her over this issue. Specifically where some simply imply to Hanuman as a monkey god. If only Canadians were to learn, know more about Lord Hanuman, the religion of Hinduism, and realize the symbolic references and its significance. So let's talk about Lord Hanuman. Who is he? A devoted follower of Prince Ram, a messenger, extensively mentioned for his loyalty and love, super strength and sacrifice, and courage. All of this documented in the Ramayana. Jai Hanuman Gyan Gun Sagar, Jai Kapi Satihu Loka Ujagar. In the Hanuman Chalisa, referring to the god, it states, the ocean of wisdom and power, you illuminate the entire cosmos. It also adds, Bhoot Pisach Nikat Nahi Avai, Mahavir Jab Naam Sunavai. All the ghosts, demons, calamity, evil forces keep away with the sheer mention of the name of Hanuman. Lord Hanuman, that means, is seen as the protector, who every Hindu remembers when we feel we may be in trouble. We start to then chant his name and the Hanuman Chalisa. We keep the Hanuman idol in our car when we drive, in our bag when we are undertaking difficult moments, in our palm to give us strength, and we believe that he does. He is the protecting deity. Hanuman Chalisa also adds, Nase roga harai sab pira, japat nirantar hanumat bira. All diseases, pain and suffering disappear on reciting regularly Lord Hanuman's name. There is a reason I am quoting these verses is to remind you that if at all, Lord Hanuman will only protect your country, Canada, do not fret. He's the god of service, of humility and valor. And this statue is also, remember, is in a property premises of a temple. It's legal, it's approved. So it's not like secretly, maliciously, the statue has come up to take over the population residing already in Canada. And this is not just about India. Look across Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia, across Southeast Asia, Hanuman is followed and believed strongly in, including Trinidad and Tobago. Thai Hanuman was the mascot of Asian Athletics Championships 2023. If you're still wondering, why should Canada have these alien statues, like some of the comments I have read on social media? Well, learn from India, the country that boasts of churches and Christianity as multiculturalism in practice. Even though most were during violent invasions, but we recognize also the faith as part of our history and our present in India. Want some examples? Basilica of Bom Jesus in Goa, a UNESCO World Heritage Site protected by Indians. It retains the mummified remains of Saint Xavier. St. James Church in Delhi, it is the oldest church, was once the official church of the British Viceroy of India in Delhi. Sacred Heart Cathedral Church in Delhi, the Roman Catholic Church, is one of the oldest church buildings in New Delhi and looks absolutely stunning ahead of Christmas. People of other faith and religions also love to come and visit here. Velankanni Church in Tamil Nadu. It also shows the blending of local culture. Mother Mary adorned in a traditional sari, blending with the culture of the place and of Christianity. There's a church in Kashmir, there's a church in Puducherry, there are many churches in Meghalaya and Nagaland in the northeast, thereby representing how India follows the freedom of religion. Oh, and talking of statues, thanks to the good people in Canada's government, in 2021, Canada voluntarily repatriated to India the ancient Annapurna statue, the goddess of food and nourishment. It's back now at the Kashi Vishwanath temple in Varanasi. How did this idol, this deity, this statue reach Canada in the first place? Is anybody's guess. I'm pretty sure, Canada, that you have many more serious issues, real issues to be concerned about than a statue coming up. For example, literally, criminals and gangsters are running amok on your soil, associated with anti-India groups operating on your soil, and many of them were on India's terror list. Sadly, have found shelter in Canada, and that would work against you too, eventually. Interestingly, this whole Bawal, which is in Brampton, where most rallies have been anti-India, anti-Hindu and Khalistan rallies that are constantly encouraged to no action. In fact, your big brother, the United States of America, is where one of the largest temples opened in New Jersey this year. 183-acre BAPS Swaminarayan Akshardham, and many statues like that. Fretting over a statue? Because in 2020, Canada was the 11th largest greenhouse gas emitter in the world. Narcotic substance abuse like opioid addiction and overdose of drugs are a big issue, and for several years in the country. Canada's real estate prices are skyrocketing, especially for housing for common people. Canada's economy ranks 10th right now, struggling since COVID-19 pandemic. To mention also here, India's economy stands at the 5th largest economy. I will wrap up now with the good people of Canada who have stood with the Hindu community and realized these are not the people to go attacking after. I spoke to journalist Daniel Boardman, who explained what could possibly be the reasons behind this anger that's emerging on social media for now, and why he supports building the statues.
There's three things here on just the technicalities. This is private property, we have religious freedom, and we have freedom of expression. This checks all three boxes. It's legal. You can put it up. Listen, if this was a 55-foot statue being put up at Brampton City Hall, this is a different conversation entirely, but it's not.
Ellie Canton Nantal, a journalist, has said, wokeism and adjacent ideologies like Marxism, day and decolonization, seemingly primarily pushed by the woke white liberals, pose a far, far greater threat to the fabric and heritage of Canadian society than a Hindu statue on a private property. One Randall has also added on social media, I quote him here, "I'm totally and utterly sickened by the hateful comments. I was naive about the anti-immigrant bias of some Canadians, especially against immigrants from India, who are Canada's best. I fully appreciate and cherish them." Thank you, Randall, for saying that. On that note, I will conclude today. If you are a Canadian watching this, Canada and India have a lot to share and collectively progress with. Canada has established trade offices in Indian cities. Reputed Canadian companies such as Bombardier, SNC Lavalin, CAE, etc. have a strong presence in India. Shastri Indo-Canadian Institute, founded in 1968, promote academic relations between the two countries as of today. And these are just some of the mentions I've made about the cultural exchanges between India, Canada, between Hindu Canadians and the Canadians who, so to say, believe that they are the superior race. Eventually, remember that Lord Hanuman means peace and protection and all things good. And so do the Hindu Canadians. Thank you for watching.